On this episode of Real Estate on the Rocks, we're going to talk about the top 5 videos to make on YouTube.
Welcome to Real Estate on the Rocks, where you get top shelf real estate conversations served straight up, never watered down. Here's your host, Dave Snowberger.
All right, welcome back to Real Estate on the Rocks. I'm joined today via satellite. I don't know why I keep saying that shit. Via satellite, via Zoom. Marshall Tucker over there. And where are you at, in your garage?
Yeah, I'm in the garage actually.
Fantastic.
It's starting to
I
get
feel
a
like my mic's a little bit
warm
low,
in here.
So, ever since we've done this, we've had mic issues and everything else. But I think I'm getting back to some sort of normalcy here with some mic stuff. I've had to switch from my Rode mic over to a Blue Yeti mic that plugs into the laptop, and then I'm using.
Wasn't that the original one we started using? Wasn't the Blue Yeti the first one?
Blue Yeti was the first one that we used. We used to set it in the middle of the table and have our podcast that way, remember?
That's right. That's right. Everybody pick up everything.
It picks up everything. And seriously, if I move off this table, it picks up in my ears, at least, it picks up everything around this table still. So I'm very cautious and careful with my movement around here. And I notice when I move my head away, I kind of lose audio a little bit, and then it comes back over here and it sounds real smooth. So anyway, we're going to talk today about the top 5 videos to produce on YouTube to get you more business. All right. We've had the conversations in the past that most of the attention these days on social media and on the internet and in real estate is going towards video. The world is headed towards video. Videos seem to be a lot more engaging than just regular print ads and everything else. People want to click on, they want to know something about you, especially your circle of influence or your sphere of influence. They want to know more. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to talk and go through some ideas about some of the videos that we've done in the past on our YouTube page. You can find our page over at Snowberger Realty Group. Also have one for Wilco Eats. Those are really kind of merged together. And that's where I can talk about real estate, and I can talk about my second favorite thing is food. It's kind of, they run fine, kind of parallel with each other. And I can bring those two together. And then I've started doing other videos these days by taking some direction from some YouTube coaching. And so what I want to do is share that with you. And well, not you, Marshall, but you, the listeners out there.
I could learn something, I'm sure.
I bet. But you're pretty good in your videos. They're exactly what you need to do. You're turning your camera around. You're making a video. You're putting it on YouTube, and you're putting it out there so people see it. I see the engagement. I mean, you're rocking it, bro.
Well, it's always cool to see me put out like a video of, say, one of those jump air places or going to the drive-through safari, and I post it, and then I get 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 friends. They all go off and do it, shortly after and post their videos. I think that's kind of cool.
Right, and that's one of the my most favorite things about doing Wilco Eats. So Wilco Eats stands for Williamson County. And then Eats is just obviously, I just had to name it something cool and something fun and just something to the point. And so I roll around Wilco Eats, or really around Texas, and I film anything that I eat. I take pictures of, I typically film it. And there's so much content that you never see that I take pictures of. I have over 7,000 photos in my phone. I've got over probably 2,000 videos in my phone.
I know you're always dropping things, and I'm like, man,
out there and they're like, oh,
I've seen that before. I've seen it somewhere before. It's like, I was there like 3 months ago.
Exactly.
With you.
Exactly. Like I was about to post a picture of when we went for EXPCon. We went to Vegas for EXPCon, and I was digging through some of the stuff the other day, and I found the Heart Attack Grill. Right.
That's
so
pretty
some of those
funny.
Pictures.
Last night too, I looked at our video. I was looking at the videos on YouTube of things that I posted, and that one came up where we were touring the city, and see James there eating one of the burgers in his gown, and I started laughing. I was like, man, that's a wild place.
That was a wild place, but that video did perform rather well, and it did its job as it was intended. Was that I'm not sure, because I run it on Facebook also, so I'm not sure of total views that I get. However, when I have over 10 people throughout time tell me, dude, I saw that video, that's crazy, did you really eat that burger? I know that my marketing is working, right? And people are like, is that really marketing? Yes, that's 100% marketing, as in building top of mind awareness. And that's what I've always been about, is just staying relevant to people. And when they think about real estate, they think about me. I sprinkle what I do. I talk about 80% other things, and then I sprinkle in 20% of real estate. And it really actually shrinks from there. I think it's more 90-10. 10% is real estate stuff. And more lately, I'm doing things like this right here. You can see my logo up, not my logo, but there's a logo on the other side. I'm all mixed up. Like if I go this way, I'm meaning to point at my name. And if I go this way, I'm meaning to point at my logo. So the zoom's always backwards. But I'm starting to do more of this stuff right here. But what I'm trying to do right now is merge my two little brands that I have of Snowburger Realty Group and Wilco Eats. And I'm trying to really bring them together. And so as of early as today, I did a new cover art on my YouTube page that has my picture on it with my name and has SRG on this side and has Wilco Eats on this side, right? And so I had that same logo done for the Dave Snowburger Realtor page on Facebook, and I had the same one done for Twitter, and I had the same one done for LinkedIn, right? And so I had all four of them, which are all different sizes, which would have taken me forever. I just went to Fiverr, Fiverr, went to Fiverr, and I had somebody else do it for me, and I think it was $35 for them to create this thing. I'm not in love with it. However, finished is better than perfect, right? And so they finished the product. I had one revision that I paid for, and the guy revised it like 3 or 4 or 5 times because I just wasn't happy with the placement of things. However, I got it after I looked at it with each individual cover art pieces for Facebook on all the social media platforms. They're all different sizes. So that changes everything. So I realized, I paid money to leverage that off my plate, then was kind of telling him like, hey, you're not doing what I'm asking you to do. And he's like, I am, it's just not sticking because they're different sizes on everything. So once I got that, I was more happy with it, and I'll keep it and just roll with it for now. Just
That's
because
what
I
I'm
need to get
paying
something
you
there.
for.
Right. I've had our real estate logo on there for the past 2 years, and how boring's that? Right? Just a regular old real estate logo that says Dave Snowburger or Snowburger Realty Group at, EXP Realty. Like it just, it's something that I would scroll past. And so if I scroll past it, other people will scroll past it. Right. So anyway, I started coming up with more content, wanted to put together a little list of the top 5 videos that we're going to be working on. And so if we're going to be working on them, I think our listeners should be working on them as well. And so we're going to break into this a little bit because these are marketing ideas, and then we really have to customize them to be towards real estate ideas, right? And so the number one is, I did this one the other day, is a how-to video, right? Now, typically, I don't want to waste my time making how-to videos because I can go look at whatever I need to how to and go do it myself. I'm saying I can go to YouTube myself and put in how to cook a brisket on a Traeger grill, right? So I went and I did that. I took a look at it, and it was super simple and everything else. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to film this thing. And then I broke out the light. I broke out the gimbal. I brought a big light home. I had my kitchen set up like a production studio, and Nicole comes down and flips her lid and just kind of like, what are you doing with all this crap in the kitchen? And I'm just like, I'm doing a brisket video. She's like, you're doing what? Like, why? Who would want to watch that? And I was like, I have no idea, but I'm going to do it, And so cooking a brisket takes 10 to 12 hours, right? And so it was a long shoot.
Do it right.
What's that?
I said 14 if you do it right.
Oh, yeah. I get a lot of hard time because I use an electric grill. But, Traeger's a pellet grill. Most people don't know. Most people do know about pellet grills these days, or electric grills. They're kind of like easy bake ovens for adults. And
I had just learned about it when you told me about it. It was a day before yesterday. I was like, why do people keep making fun of you? What's going on here? You plug in? Does it really plug in?
I don't think anybody was making fun of me, but I think he was making fun of that.
Yeah,
I saw the same post.
You had a big group of people behind you saying that they all use the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, because you're just cooking meat. We're not professionals, and I don't need to go out and stoke a fire. I don't need to go source the oak wood, the dry oak wood, to go in there and stoke the fire for 3-4 hours to get it to this perfect temperature of, 227.5 would be the perfect barbecue temperature, right? To slow cook a brisket on over the next like 12 to 14 hours. Like, man, that's awesome. I got mad props for people that do that stuff and do it on the reg also, like you owning a barbecue restaurant, to be able to do that over and over and over again. Like,
well, I feel bad for people like Preston, because they got to sit out all night camped out by their thing and watching it burn and adding and all that. Whereas, we've got it pretty much down.
Well,
he throw the wood on and take off.
When he whacks me for $30 a pound for brisket, bro. So I'd say that's worth his time, or he's putting the cost in there for doing it. But anyway, let's get back to this real quick. So the how-to videos, right? So I started looking more and more and more into these how-to videos, and now I've got 10 of them lined up that I'm going to do because I put it out there. I put it on my regular Facebook page, and then I actually put it on my Wilco Eats page, right? That I've just started associating with my real estate page, and I pump it out there. And I put, I ran an actual Facebook ad behind it. I put $20 behind it, and I got it up to, I think 2,000 people were going to see it. And you've got to see the analytics on it, man. It was like, I think 2,500 people impressions, and it had 146 clicks. To me, that's pretty good. If I run a real estate ad that has 2,500 impressions, and it has 2 clicks, 7 clicks,
Well,
this one had 146 watch throughs, not clicks.
Reminds me of one of our clients, and he did that how-to video on how to fix the bumper of a car by pouring boiling water on there, and it went viral. And I can't remember how much he said he was getting. It was like $9,000 the first month, and then he got $3,000 or $4,000 each month for the next 6-7 months. Now he's still getting $1,000.
It actually helped him buy a house. Remember?
You did, and he's just like he's trying to recreate those videos, and none of the others ever went viral again. But that's amazing stuff.
It's tough to do to go viral. One of the best things I'm seeing right now with TikTok is that I'm doing Wilco Eats on TikTok, and I'm getting views. It tells you how many views you get. And I think, like one of the other day, one of the brisket places that I posted some pictures of brisket. I think it was Brett's backyard, out there in Rockdale, Texas. It's got like 2,800 views so far, and I mean, that's pretty good. That's just all organic. You don't pay for any of that stuff. And, I'm not a dancer. I'm not the best looking fella. And so, I'm if you're going on TikTok, which you've been on TikTok before, it's all full of dancers and young bucks with ripped abs and stuff like that. And I don't fit into any of those categories. So I was like, you know what, I'll just start playing with it and doing the Wilco Eats thing. And so we've done that, and it's picking up followers. I mean, it's really only been launched for about a month. And I think it's got 180 people following it already, just organically. Nice. And it's picking up the views, and people are watching it, responding to all my little brisket videos. But today we're talking about YouTube, not TikTok. So the how-to videos, I started looking around my kitchen and started noticing like appliances that I use. I use the Vitamix, right? So that's a overpriced blender you get from like Costco. That's this thing that can just blend up everything, right? And just make smoothies or whatever else. But Nicole wanted some margaritas. So I was like, hey, I'll use the Vitamix. Okay, cool. There's some how-to videos. Then I saw they had 2 and 3 and 4 million views for how to make margaritas in a Vitamix. So I'm like, bam, I'm going to do a Vitamix. I mean, I've owned bars my whole life, pretty much. I know how to bartend. I know how to make a fantastic margarita. I'm going to put my spin on it. I'm not going to add orange juice and all the other bullshit all these other videos have as things you don't put into a margarita, and I'm going to go and I'm going to make this own video. And so that's on my list. So this weekend, she's going to probably want margaritas on Saturday. I'm going to set up my studio again in there, and I'm going to make a how to do margaritas in a Vitamix, right? And I use the same exact titles of the ones that have 3 or 4 million views, right?
I'm going to have to watch your video because I just do tequila in that mix. Shake it up.
You can get a little bit more personal with it and have it taste a little bit better. Take off some of that tanginess, and some of that jolt. You don't really need that. And there's a secret ingredient I won't put out there until we do the video. It's love. Yeah.
I want to see the video then.
I don't think you want my love near that thing. Anyway, how-to videos, excuse me, that was really loud. How-to videos are the number one thing out there because everybody search starts with how to do this, right? Mm-hmm. So how to be a marketing pro, how to get listings, how to pick up buyers, how to pick up sellers, how to replace, I did how to do the shutters, right? That thing's going gangbusters. How to make plantation shutters for your home,
I was
right?
there, and you didn't put me on the credits.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I will say I noticed your videos lately. You've been putting very big and bright fluorescent like how-to video and then little YouTube emblems, and you got your nice thumbnail going on there. Is that something you picked up from one of these videos that you were watching?
Yeah, from plenty that I was watching, but I started really listening to a bunch of YouTube marketing people like Think Marketing. or
Hmm.
Think Media, those guys right there. I read the book, and I read the book 5 or 6, 7 times. Um, and I say read the book, I listened to the book through Audible. But I read that so many times that I started picking up on some of these things. I'm like, okay, so what's a thumbnail? And so I go in there and I start looking. And a lot of this stuff is like remedial, where people are like, Dave, you didn't know what a thumbnail was? I was like, I did, but I just didn't know that's what it was called. And I didn't mess with YouTube that much. I think that I'm a tad bit behind the curve on YouTube. However, we've had YouTube channels. I just haven't doubled down on YouTube. And I'm telling you, the rest of 2020, coming out of this whole COVID pandemic scare, I'm doing a ton of videos that is evergreen, right? That is not relevant to just this COVID thing. This COVID thing will disappear one day, right? So I don't want to do a bunch of marketing videos around that. I just want to keep it the way things were and market towards just evergreen stuff, the stuff that will be Googleable about, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 7 years from now. Everybody's going to want to know how to cook a brisket still in 7 years. You're going to have a whole new audience that's 15 right now that hits 22 years old and wants to be able to cook that or do a margarita or whatever else I
I
come up
still
with,
remember
right?
the number one how-to video I ever looked up, and it was I had just got kind of a corporate job, and so I didn't know how to tie a tie, and so I pulled up those YouTube videos on how to tie a tie, and man, I can tie a tie now pretty easy. A
Dude,
couple different
you
ways.
watched a YouTube video for the listeners out there. We have a little Mini Cooper that I bought. Um,
Oh yeah,
as
forget
soon
about
as I
that.
bought it, it took a dump. We got it back to the office, and the next day it broke down or whatever else. So Marshall said, I'll take it home and take a look at it, right? So he takes a look, he diagnoses it. He goes into YouTube, finds a video, and he does it. And he's like, what'd you tell me? Like, this total, we didn't pay for the labor, but, like total cost were
Hour
50
and a half
bucks.
or something. Yeah, it didn't take very long at all.
Right. But when I called the shop for it, they wanted $1,400. So I always credit that to YouTube saved us $1,350, right?
Hmm.
And that was pretty cool. And so
And
being
come to
able to
think of
do
it,
that,
everything
yeah,
I do, car related, changing brakes or stereos and all that, everything I could give to YouTube. I'll give it a whack on YouTube before I pay somebody to do it, unless I just
absolutely,
think I'm gonna mess it up too bad. It's gonna cost more than just doing it
absolutely.
in the first
Well,
place. So yeah, I'll give it a
there's a
try.
guy right now that's made his way around a couple of the podcasts right now, but I think he was on Think Media's podcast, and I think Dustin Brome had him on his podcast. And I think there was one more person out there that had him on the podcast, but super not relevant to anything real estate wise. However, the guy is like the number one YouTube plumber there is, and he makes a great residual income off of YouTube because instead of he was so busy with people calling him for these little jobs that could be done so easily. He just started recording these little jobs and how to do these little plumbing things to not waste your money by calling somebody out that cost $100 or $200 an hour to fix, where you can go watch a 5-10 minute video and learn how to fix it yourself. Right. And so he started doing that. He's the most well-known plumber there is out there. The guy absolutely kills it. It's all from how-to videos. So we spent a little bit of
Wow.
time on that one. How-to videos are where it's at. Just start thinking about what you can do. You can stick with the same old things about how to buy a house and how to work with sellers and how to work with buyers or how to get pre-qualified. You can do all that stuff, but I would mix it in with other stuff that's real life interest of your hobbies or what things that you like to do every, like a
Right.
day to day. Like, I mean, it's going to be pretty evident once you come into me come into my page or our area that, we talk about real estate, but we talk about food and we talk about fun and we talk
And
about
interesting
traveling.
things.
Yeah. I mean, I did a state park, went
Right.
out there and did a state park, and, I know how to edit on my phone only. I've like Ryan Baker's uses LumaFusion. I put it on my iPad. I can't figure it out, And so then I go and I bite off Adobe, and I'm like, yeah, get out of here with that. I'm going to stick to my Splice over here that's free, and keep
Right.
editing things the way I know how, and just save the money. But I'll keep taking a whack at LumaFusion. But Baker says it's easy, so it's got to be easy, right? So the number 2 videos are frequently asked questions. That can be almost like a how-to video. However, it's just frequently asked questions. Now that one you can involve more of real estate because you can do a nice 2 to 3, 4-minute video, even stretch it to 5-minute video on the frequently asked questions of new home buyers, the frequently asked questions of sellers, the frequently asked questions of for sale by owners, the frequently
Or
asked
tax
questions are
exemptions,
right, tax exemptions or how to
inspections,
do that.
picture
Go ahead.
prep day, inspections. I mean, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I always get people asking me, what do we need to do before pictures? Or, how do we fight our taxes? Or how do we do this and that? Inspectors, what do we look for? What do we expect? Just about anything in the process.
Right. Well, yeah, there's tons of frequently asked questions out there. So that's the number two in the rankings there. That's what YouTube sees the most of right there is frequently asked questions. The third one right here is products and services. Once again, that can go and be the services of what you offer as a real estate agent. You can go above and beyond. You can be the typical realtor that just works with buyers and sellers or investors. I would I'd encourage you to really double down on one of those niches right there. Do you work with buyers? Do you work with sellers? Do you work with investors? I would make some videos around that starting off. And
So
then be able to get the most important ones that you want to speak to first. And then as time goes on, add to those products and services. And so the product obviously is real estate, right? So that's where you can
right.
do a lot of your videos for virtual walkthroughs. You can do
That's what I was
property
gonna say.
tours,
A lot of
neighborhood
people I have
tours.
coming from out of town. I just take the video, throw it up on YouTube, and I was always kind of cross. Do I keep it a private link and just send it to them that way, so I don't clutter up my page, or I just leave them open? And I've kind of found if I stop talking directly, I used to just talk to my client directly as I'm touring the home, but now I kind of keep their names out of it. I kind of keep it more just about the house, and then I just leave it open on my YouTube. That way, if other people trip across it, they can also see the video, and maybe that'll help me get a listing in the future.
Certainly. We were cleaning up the YouTube page today, and she's like, "Do you want to get all these old listings out of here?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. Like, let's leave
Keep
our old
them.
listings in there." And actually, we have another page with more listings. I was like, "Let's import all those old listings in here because they're all by address, and we know that the SEO is good because they come up first page when you hit 107 North Sumac. It comes up first page in Google, and that's what you want. And even if someone buys this house and turns around 3, 4, 5 years and sells it again, man, if they can trip across me again, cool.
Or if they punch in your name and all these homes video comes up of everything that you've done and all these video tours,
Yeah.
that's just more
A lot of the
solid.
stuff, the reason why I didn't import them over was because of a lot of it was branded with Keller Williams stuff, right? So they have the KW United Group in there and all that good stuff. All my whole real estate team, and we dissolved that to come to EXP. And so now I'm like, oh, that's okay. I'm still going to bring it all over because it's not really about the brand. It's about, it's not really about, like what jersey I was wearing. It was about who was doing the conversation when I was doing the walkthroughs and things like that. And, I
Exactly.
sold the property. That's something to be proud of, is that I sold all those properties. Right. And so that's a badge I can wear that, yes, look at me. I'm a listing agent. I know how to do all these things. And they can see that through the evidence of the clicking. They'll figure out rather quickly, I think, that, oh, he's no longer with Keller Williams. He's with EXP. Right.
Right.
And while I'm right there, let's go ahead and talk about joining EXP. If you're interested in having a conversation about EXP, you like how I dropped that?
Yeah.
Text Join EXP to 88000 or give me a call directly, 512-773-6461. We had some people reach out. And right now we're showing them the benefits of EXP, and they're liking what they're hearing. And more than likely, they will be making the switch here pretty soon. So I'm pretty happy about that because this is a fantastic brokerage. So number 4 on the 5 best videos to make on YouTube. Number 4 would be, are we a best fit for? Who are we a best fit for videos, right? So that's really you speaking to the audience that you want to work with, right? So you, in a sense, sit down, you build your avatar. We stole that one from James. You build your avatar of what's your client look like, right? What's your ideal client look like? And then maybe your not so ideal client, right? And you kind of steer away from dealing with the people that you necessarily more than likely wouldn't mesh with in the first place, and you try to advertise more and market towards more of the people that you want to attract, that are more like you, that want to do things like you, that have similar interests like you. And when I talk about similar interests, don't try to bait me into thinking this is something about anything negative, but we all have folks that we want to work with, right?
I got a guy yesterday from the barbecue group. So I saw he reached out and he was looking for a realtor, and we happened to be in the same barbecue bros and dads group. So when I sent him a video message, I was like, hey man, I see that you're into cooking brisket too. That's coincidence. We're in the same group there. We got a restaurant there in Georgetown. And so later on, talking to him when he signed the contract on a new construction, his wife turned around and said, yeah, he chose you because you said barbecue. Those are the magic words. I was like, yes, it works.
I'm in that group also. I didn't see that come up, but I'm glad. I'm happy you got it.
Also, before this whole thing started, I was kind of, my face was clean and I had a little bit more hair up here. And now I've noticed everybody I've been showing lately, they've also got nice full beards. And so, you can't see them with the mask on or anything, but I'm like, man, I bet you it's because of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I guess those are just my kind of people, that I'm used to working with. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would say my kind of people are the people that like, I would say if I built an avatar, it'd be the price range between 400 and 600,000, right? They would have be easy qualifiers. They typically want to sell their home in a fashionable amount of time. They've got something that's in my area that I wouldn't have to drive too far away from my area to go list. However, I would, and
yeah,
just you still keep working from there, like the same interest. Like yesterday, I was at a listing appointment, $850,000 house. We go out to his garage, which is not a garage; it's like a steel building, and he's got a '54 Chevy truck with a Corvette engine in it and all this stuff. All right, then he's got a uh, a '54 Dodge or 1945 Dodge, I think it was, old forestry service truck. The funny thing is, I just seen one for sale because I'm looking for kind of like like maybe a Jeep or a Blazer or a Bronco or something. And I ran across this one and it was almost identical to this one. I was like, did you just have this on Facebook? And he's like, no. And I was like, well, yeah, because that one was green. But anyway, we start talking, and he just had all these toys in the garage, right? That's somebody that's my ideal listing appointment. And he's got the cool things that I'm interested in. I'm interested in '54 Chevy trucks with Corvette engines in them that he hand built basically from the ground up, and I'm interested in an old '54 truck. And by the end of the thing, he's just like, do you want to buy this truck? And I was like, I don't know what I do with it, but it's really cool. So how much do you want for it? He goes, it needs $1,000 worth of parts. He's like, I'll give it to you for $1,000. And the one I just saw is a for sale for $9,000. So I'm
that's
like,
a
yeah,
good deal.
$1,000. I was like, yeah, I'm in. He goes, well, one of my friends is interested in it. So I asked him this morning and he hasn't answered me back. He's got about 24 hours to let me know if he wants to buy it or not. So I was like, cool, I'll buy it. So it's this big thing. I don't know. I can't even describe it. It's an old just Dodge truck that's like just all meat and bones, old diesel truck, man. And it's just got a lot of, be a
The
really cool
bird in the
truck to
tree. Is
have. What's that?
that one of those bird in the tree shifters that's on the column?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
It's a crazy old truck, but those are the people that I like to work with, that I go and I love the river ranch stuff. I love going over to the properties and seeing the river. I just like that, but I'll list anything. I think we all know that, and it's not that I have anything against anybody, but if I had to pick and choose who I was going to work with, that would be it. The people that like the toys, the people that have the kind of, fun opportunities on their land. Like look at the Hottas, they back up to the river, right? And so
Yeah.
I got to go take pictures all over the place over their land, right? Just posted one where I blacked out the scenery and did the canoe in orange,
Yeah.
and so I get to do cool things like that on their land. And so like that's my ideal people to work with. So you can do those type of videos to try to track people in and say what's best, who's the best fit for you. It's a good one. Number 5 here is I thought was interesting, and I do like this, and I need to come up with something relevant like this that I can put in an email that stays evergreen, that some people will click on and some people won't. And it doesn't hurt my feelings if they don't click on it. But the bio video emails, do you know what I mean by that?
Kind of, sort of. It's like a fancy email signature that we used to have that links back to our bio, but this is more of a video bio of like who you are and what you do and what you can do.
Yeah, you can just take like a little bit.ly link and
Mhm.
stick your YouTube video down there and keep it 30 seconds or so of just kind of like, hey, this is Dave
Elevator
Snowberger over at
pitch.
Snowberger Realty Group. Like we have this one right here. I've got a script in here because I was working on this stuff earlier. But like this one says, hey, this is Dave Snowberger with Snowberger Realty Group. If you're seeing this video, it's because you have not yet subscribed to the Snowberger Realty channel here on YouTube. Why should you subscribe? Because we want to give you the ton of information that's relevant to you, whether you're thinking of buying a home or selling a home in Williamson County. So, I've got this big script right here and I'm going to go through it and through it. But like that video right there is a great one for a bio video email because it tells everybody who we are. I wouldn't make it about YouTube or bringing them back to the YouTube channel. I would just make it top of mind awareness that, once they're seeing those emails from me or whatever else, if they wanted to click on it, oh, this is a little bit more about Snowberger and Snowberger Realty Group, right? And so his agents over there. And so I would, once I start executing on this, I'm more than likely going to have each agent do one. Right. And so you do one, James does one. Jason would do one, Steven would do one, and even Melanie would do one here at the, over here at Snowberg Realty Group. On the director of operations. These are the tasks I handle. If you need anything,
Yeah.
just a little bit of a bio,
She's
So I
usually a
think
part
that's
of every deal, at least, talking on the back end. So
yeah. I mean, as soon as we get them under contract, we hand them over to her and she takes over with our, customer service right there. Right. And so what are some people calling that? Our happiness team. We call her the closing team, the happiness team, whatever you want to close her, as long as she's nice to the clients. But anyway, those are the top 5 videos to make on YouTube right there. So I'll summarize again. So number 1 is how-to videos. Number 2 is the frequently asked questions. Number 3 is the products and services. Number 4 is the we are the best fit for videos. And then number 5 would be the bio videos that go inside your email.
bio.
Yeah. So just think, man, if you were to do the videos inside your email and you were to send 10 videos a day, 5 days a week, that's 50 videos. By the end of the year, you would have how much is that? 260 times, 260 at bats for somebody to get to know you through a bio video, because you send out 10 emails a day. Right. And so, whether they're your
you could
new
just
emails
attach
for you
that
trying
link.
to pick up new content. What's that?
So you could just attach that link inside of your email signature on, say, like the MLS listing. So every time they get an automated generated email with the listings that they might be interested in, they'll just see your bio link at the bottom and can learn about you at any time.
100%.
It's a good idea.
And so I plan to do one for, our referral groups that we're in. If we have a referral reminder going out to everybody.
Speaking of referrals, just closed a referral today from one of our guys up in Houston, and I think I was able to push his way another agent who had a referral for Houston yesterday as well. So what you give us comes back. We will think of you and return the referral as well if we can.
What's his name?
So Luan, EXP. I can't say his last name. Don't get mad at me, Luan. But it's Luan Zoe.
Don't even worry about it. I know who you're talking about.
I was hoping you weren't going to ask me.
I put you on the spot on purpose.
But he's a great guy. He's awesome. He works the Houston area.
No, he's a nice guy. He's a friend of hyperlocal agents too. So, and I know he listens to the podcast. So that's some really busting new chops over there. People don't know our personalities. So, anyway, man,
you can watch my bio video and get to know me.
Yeah, there you go. You can get to know that we're both clowns and we like to clown each other all the time. So we're just missing one of the main clowns around here, James Mendez. But anyway, that's going to do it for today. I want everybody to reach out to or think about, if you're thinking about loans and you're in Texas, Mike Harrell. Mike Harrell is absolutely fantastic. He's been able to crush some things for us during this whole COVID period where other realtors are saying you need a 700 credit score and you need this and you need that. And I'll got everybody jumping through hoops again. Mike's been able to crush our loans once again. And think about it. How many deals have we had since this whole period started about 45, 50 days ago? How many did we have fall out? None. Or one?
I mean, any fall. Well, I got one that's just hanging until she goes back to work officially.
Oh, that's right.
I mean,
okay.
They're still holding on to it. So I really haven't lost anything. Yeah.
And is she with Mike?
No, she's with the builder's lender on that one.
See, if she was Mike, she wouldn't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wouldn't even need a job. Mike's just giving away loans.
Just kidding. You get a house. You get a house.
Yeah, you get a house. Anyway, man. Well, I appreciate it. So Mike Harrell, you can reach him at magicmike at 88000. Remember, everybody, we are in Austin, Texas. We cover a large a large area out here through Travis and Williamson County. Means nothing to you if you're not from here, but you know the city, Austin, Texas. Austin, Round Rock, Georgetown, Liberty Hill, Buda, Pflugerville. We cover it all. We've got that on lockdown. We also do Corpus Christi. So if you have a referral and want to join our referral group, Marshall has just started a new page on Facebook. It is Marshall Tucker's referral group. You need to hop into that quickly because we have people that are going to be moving like crazy after this period, right? 30 million people are out of a job. All right. I'm not trying to get everybody to profit off a pandemic. I'm trying to get everybody to profit while the pandemic is going on, right? And help people. If you help people get from under mortgages that they're that they're, heavily in debt on, or just need to move on, or maybe need to downsize, or maybe need to move back to some sort of a different area of the country, whatever. We've got referrals constantly. We're always working referrals. We're always working the angle. If we go on a listing appointment, one of the first questions out of our mouths are, where are you going next? And if it's not local, then we know a plethora. I'll use that because it's Cinco de Mayo today, even though you're listening to this on Wednesday. It's Cinco de Mayo, and if you can name the word or where plethora came from, you can't. El Guapo, right?
Hold on, I'm gonna Google that.
From the Three Amigos. From the Three Amigos movie. Anyway, we have a plethora of what are they called? Referrals going out all the time. And so we reciprocate. So Marshall just gave an example of us reciprocating. I just sent 2 up to Dallas. Marshall just sent 1 to Dallas, I believe. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've got constant referrals going. But if you want to join that group, that's Marshall Tucker's referral group. Marshall, am I missing anything?
That about covers it.
Cool. All right, man. Well, we're going to go ahead and play out of here. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.
I'm out.